Hello, everybody. It is Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 podcast. This is podcast number 8, I believe. I might be wrong there, but I'm almost positive it is number 8, the final Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 podcast, and I'm joined by 3 wonderful people. I will let them introduce themselves. We will talk about the topics that we will be discussing, all 4 of us, regarding episodes 146, 147, and 148, the 3 final episodes of Arc 5. So, Rarity, Ragnarok, and Zoids, if you 3 want to just very quickly introduce yourself.
Hey guys, it's Rarity. I'm pretty sure you all know me by now. I'm pretty sure I've been on this channel like 9 times already. But yeah, I'm Rarity. I'm ready to discuss things. Woo!
Hey guys, I'm Ragnarok. You already know who it is. I do Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, and I'm excited to be on for my 4th time.
Hello, I am the Zoids BN. You would know me as Dennis from Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 Abridged. Oh wow, that cracked really hard. What a wonderful start.
Well, thank you, all 3 of them, for coming on. Zoids, it's his first time. Rarity and Ragnarok are seasoned veterans, and so we will be getting into a lot of good Arc 5 a lot of good Arc 5 talk. So here are the 4 topics that we will be discussing. Also, check all 3 of them out. All 3 of their stuff will be linked down below in the description. Also, if you want to go the timestamps to go through these segments, if one segment piques your interest more than another, or if you want to see their kind of elongated plugs at the end of this video instead of waiting around for 45-50 minutes, however long this is, you are more than welcome to do that, so you know a little bit more about them, and then go back and watch the video in full. But here are the topics that we will be discussing. First, the initial impressions of the final 2 episode summaries, our likes and dislikes. What are we looking forward to? What do we wish happened that might not happen, according to, again, just the very basic, the very bones of these summaries. The second topic, will you win these last 2 duels? Which duel are we more excited for, and why? Jack or Ragey? Any new monster predictions? What will be the Doom King that is referred to? And that will be the second topic we discuss. The third topic, just kind of a generic question, because I've just asked this so many times by now. How will Arc 5 end? Will it have a dark ending, a happy ending, a cliffhanger ending? We will be discussing that. And then the final topic on the final podcast, what do we need to see from these last 3 episodes that will make us satisfied with Arc 5 as a whole? Is there anything they can do at this point, or has the show already been a bit of a letdown in your eyes in terms of the finale? So hopefully you guys will be answering and commenting whatever you want to comment down below as we go on with this, but we're going to get right into it. So again, timestamps for all these segments will be in the description below if you want to hop around. The first segment that we will be discussing, it will be Rarity and Zoids discussing it first. Rarity, I'm going to start with you. What were your initial impression of these final 2 summaries? What are some things that you liked, that you didn't like, and what are you looking forward to, and what's basically your wish list that if you could write the summaries a little differently, how would you have written them?
My initial impressions were kind of mixed. The thing, I'm going to go with the negative because I like to end with a positive. Jack Atlas. Now, I love Jack Atlas. Not his Arc 5 version. I love his 5Ds version. But honestly, Jack getting a 1.5 episode duel is kind of, in my opinion, a little bit too much of 5Ds bias, which, as we know, the director of Arc 5 now is Ono, who directed 5Ds. So, of course, he has a bias towards his show, which we saw through the Synchro arc. We saw that Crow was the one who got through to Yuya, technically during the Zark duel and during his own duel with Yuya in the Friendship Cup. Jack's been kind of acting like this rival. Jack, you could argue, is acting like more of a rival than Reiji is. And Shingo too, which I think is surprising. You see, I would be totally okay with this if Jack Atlas wasn't a cameo character. Because it's not fair to, we've seen Asuka's treatment, correct? We saw how horribly she was treated. And look at him. Jack just gets all this love. I mean, and Jack's not even the same as his 5D's counterpart. I think Crow, I'd say, is probably the closest his original personality, which I love Crow, so I was happily fine with that. But Jack just... I just wish it was Yusho or somebody else. But, I'm not going to keep dawning on that. Another thing I'm a little, disappointed in is we're not going to see Ray duel at all. Not even a mention of her or the Bracelet Girls in these summaries, and that just... It's a major disappointment. Ray was built to be this pro duelist. We're not even know what her deck is like, because technically the only cards she used were her father's cards. Was the 4 cards created by her father. They are probably not in her original deck before all this stuff happened. And yeah, we're gonna get a Reiji and Yuya duel. It's gonna be 1.5 episodes long. Honestly, I don't care about duels at this point. I love Yu-Gi-Oh, but as I've said multiple times, I'm in Yu-Gi-Oh for the characters. I like the duels, I enjoy dueling, I'm just more for the characters. Honestly, I'd rather just not even have a Reiji and Yuya duel at this point, because honestly, I know what's gonna happen. This is for maybe for the other topic, but I know Yuya's gonna win, it's just not gonna be that interesting. And that's kind of what my negatives are going to be. But off to the positives. The most positive thing in these summaries is U-Boy interaction. That is what basically these summaries are promising me, which as someone who loves the manga, as you all know, I'm happy we're getting U-Boy interaction, which is something the show needed, like, what is it, a year ago? I feel like we needed this, really, really badly. Honestly, to be perfectly honest, and just, I'm so happy that we're gonna get some finally, I hope it's good U-Boy interaction, and I just love they're taking manga plot points, all boys in one body, the manga, they're just stealing everything from the manga, because the manga's better. I mean, the anime has two things in the anime that I like more than I like the manga, but I won't talk about that, but honestly, I hope we get some good U-Boy interaction. I hope we see Zark again, just no Zark and Ray, like, them not even being resolved, and probably the Bracelet Girls going to show up in the last 5 minutes, just really bothers me, but you know, we have to see how these episodes turn out. I just wish the Jack duel was only one episode, 147 to maybe the second half of 148 was the Reiji duel, and then we just have the second half of 148 just be all the U-Boy Bracelet Girl reunion, maybe just more wrapping up things, maybe a Zark and Ray moment, you never know, but that's just me. I hope the episodes are good. They're gonna be animated good, because the animator for 147 is my favorite animator, Yuya, and 148's animator is the same one who did the Dennis duel, which the Dennis duel 144 is one of my favorite duels in the show. I'm a Dennis lover, so I'm pretty happy about that. But that's what I'll have to say about that. I just hope these last two episodes are good, and I'm still going to remain optimistic.
Well, it's always good. It's always healthier to remain optimistic rather than pessimistic. But there's definitely a lot of people who are very not thrilled with these summaries. But again, we have to just see and wait and see how these episodes play out. So Zoids, going to switch it over to your perspective now. What are your initial thoughts on these final Arc 5 summaries?
I gotta tell you, wow, I don't care. It's been nothing but disappointing, and reading these descriptions, I'm not somebody that follows the behind the scenes stuff, and looking at this, I'm just thinking to myself, why? There were so many good theories that really could have, actually happened. Some of which you yourself have discussed.
Thank you.
But now with everything that's happened, Zark, Ray, probably not going to show up again. Maybe just a slight show of Zark. He's not going to get any character development. Ray's not going to get any character development. We're not going to see the U-Boys again. We're not going to see the Bracelet Girls again. We're wasting time with Jack Atlas. Again. And Reiji is the ceremony duel. I'm sorry, no. Reiji is the worst rival I have ever seen in Yu-Gi-Oh! He does not deserve the title of rival. He was... Come on, anybody, I ask you, what is the closest relationship that he has, especially comparing him with Yuya?
A stalker.
Yes. He's not important to Yuya. Is he? He's not important. I don't think he's ever going to be important. They're not entirely friends. In fact, I think Yuya holds nothing but disdain towards him. Reiji seems to just be this all high and mighty character that just never got knocked off his pedestal. And I think that's the problem with Reiji. Outside of that, she's right. Why are we wasting time with another Jack duel? You could fill this spot with a fantastic duel between father and son. When have we ever seen that in Yu-Gi-Oh?
Very true.
So, you know me, I'm here for the story. I don't care about the voice actors, or the story writers, or whoever's animating it. I'm here for the story itself. And what I see right now is very lackluster, very tacked on. Something that just was not fully fleshed out before they put it on paper.
Yeah, it's it's honestly very fair, and maybe it's a little brutal, Zoids, but to be honest, I would say that like 80% of the people that have commented on my recent videos when I talked about the summaries said the same thing. They basically said the same exact thing, just that things were not fleshed out, that everything is just rushing. It's just been a complete disappointment. And you did mention at one point that we might not see the U-Boys again. I think what you probably meant by that is that we won't see them in their own bodies again, because we know we will see them within Yuya.
Right.
But again, there's a big difference between that, and that's something that kind of annoys me a little bit, that, you know, sure, they're going to be within Yuya, and even if we see them in their own bodies and we see the Bracelet Girls, which none of that's a guarantee, it's going to be with 3 minutes left of the show. There's a lot of things that you can definitely be angered towards, and I think most of the fan base honestly feels the same frustration that you really just kind of demonstrated there. Before we move on, Ragnarok, is there something you want to add real quick?
Yes, just really quick. The thing about these summaries is, the thing that bugs me most is that I really like how Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 is going now. If we had another 10 episodes, I kind of like what this kind of bringing back memories kind of thing is. If we had more episodes, but the fact you're putting in Jack Atlas 2 episodes before the show ends, not good in my opinion. I think Jack Atlas has had the most influence on Yuya as a point of any character throughout the show. But I really don't think and that would be good if we had another 10 episodes left, but right now he is not, this is not something I think most of the fans want to see 2 episodes before, and even rushing a Reggie duel, which I think we all would want to see at least 2 or 3 episodes of. And good point about the Ray stuff, guys. I forgot she was even a character at this point. I completely forgot we don't even get anything from her. So, and that includes Zark as well, which is just so sad.
It is.
We've only seen one frame of Zark's real face.
Yeah, I know, it's such
frame.
a tragedy.
Yeah, it's
I mean, whenever they bring up Zark, they just show the demon Zark. Like, why you have a design for Zark? Just use it.
I remember there was a rumor, I don't think it was a rumor, that the animators didn't even know like what they were supposed to draw. I think that was during like the 138s and the 139s, that something leaked behind the scenes that I was going to do a discussion on it, I decided not to, that the animators were like, we have no idea what we're even supposed to draw. I don't think anyone knows.
One of the animators on Twitter said it.
And that just shows you how calamitous, unfortunately, the end of Arc 5 has been. But some really great insight from you three, and hopefully you guys will give us some more great insight. I know you will down in the comment section below. Before we move on, I did say during the 144 duel against Dennis, when I gave my review on it, I said pretty much exactly what you just said, Ragnarok, that if this happened with like 20 or 30 episodes left, that'd be perfect. I would really like this direction. And obviously, when we got the summaries about the reset and we had Yuya, Shingo, Gangenzaka, and Tsukakage all, clowning around for 3 episodes, I said that, it's a very risky move that they're doing a reset this late in the show. Is it going to pay off? It looks like the risks did not reap the unfortunate reward, but we will move on from that. So you guys let us know all your thoughts down below. Really, really good food for thought there. So we're going to move to the second topic, and I'm going to start this conversation. Will Yuya win these last 2 duels, or will there be an upset? Which duel am I more excited to see, Jack or Reiji? Any new monster predictions? What will be the Supreme Doom King that is referred to? What will the Supreme Doom King that is referred to be? Okay, so here's my thoughts on it. Yuya, most likely, if I had to pick, is going to win these last 2 duels. And I think kind of Rarity said it where, you kind of know what's going to happen at this point, which is a shame because he's versing Jack and Reiji, arguably 2 of the strongest duelists in the Arc 5 universe. And you'd like the episodes, if Yuya's going to win, to be a little more fleshed out. I think the rematch when Yuya dueled Jack is going to be longer than this duel is going to be, which Yuya, at this point, still hasn't really defeated the demon within himself, I would say. And the fact that he's going to be able to do that while handling and holding his own against 2 really great duelists, a little unbelievable, but again, it's the plot, it's Arc 5, and it's Yuya, so it's just what's going to happen. So he will win these last 2 duels. My hope is that he doesn't win against Reiji, that duel ends in a draw. I would much rather prefer that than Yuya beating Reiji in a rushed 1.5 episode duel, but probably not going to happen. I'm more excited personally for the Akiba Reiji duel for this reason. A few hours ago, a little snippet of 147 summary came out, and it said, someone translated it, not DMC, and said it mentioned something about Zark. And all of a sudden, a lot of people were like, oh my god, Supreme Doom King, Zark is going to take over Reiji. Reiji is going to do something that has to do with Zark. DMC, we're recording this at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. DMC came out about an hour ago. DMC, if you don't know, he's really the official translator, I guess the unofficial official translator for everything Arc 5 related. He came out and he said, he tweeted to one of my good friends, Xezion, who's been on the podcast a few times. He tweeted to her and said, there's no mention of Zark at all. That was just kind of a mistranslation. It just said someone is standing in front of Yuya in 147. That's obviously going to be Reiji. So there's no mention of Zark. That was just kind of a rumor that's going around, but it's a false rumor. I'm not saying that can't happen, but there's nothing in the new summary that confirms that. Doom King Armageddon, this is going to be an upgrade of Doom King Armageddon. We've seen Doom King Armageddon in 3 episodes. When he dueled Yuya in 13, when he dueled Yuya in 51. Remember, Yuya technically won that duel, even though Reiji realistically had it won, and then in the rematch, Reiji smoked him. We've also seen it in episode 21, when he pendulum summoned the 3 Doom Kings, and he was getting really hyped up, and he was about to summon another monster, and we never see what monster that is because, someone says, I think someone either gets killed or some test passes, I forget what it is, but Reiji has to stop not killed, but carded, and Reiji has to stop the process. This would be actually, I would give Arc 5 a lot of credit if they foreshadowed this far in advance, where they do a flashback to episode 21 and episode 13, because remember, Reiji was about to summon a monster in 13 right before he had to leave. And if that monster is this monster, his actual ace monster, a Supreme Doom King that has 4,000 attack points with some crazy effect that causes Yuya to, again, summon the 4 dragons, which unfortunately he's going to do against Jack, because that kind of takes away the hype of him doing it in this duel. I think that would actually be really cool. So I think Supreme Doom King is going to be an upgrade from Doom King Armageddon, which, if you don't remember, is the monster you're seeing on screen right now. The 3 monsters that he used in the first duel against Yuya, and he used in that kind of test area. I think that's what this is going to be. I think it would be really cool if they did do that 100 episodes later and they did a callback to the early episodes. But we will see. As for any new monster predictions, maybe Yuya will get a dragon for merging the 4 main dragons together. I don't know, because that's kind of what Zark is, so I don't know if that would, maybe he will summon Zark and somehow control it. I don't know what's going to happen, but I could see something with the 4 dragons all becoming one monster. Maybe a heroic version of Zark or something along those lines. But that's my prediction. I'm more excited for the Reiji duel, but hopefully, because the story and the plot, as you just heard from the first topic, kind of out the window at this point, honestly. A lot of things that I wanted to see from it, kind of out the window. So I'm just hoping that these 2 duels are entertaining. I'm going to give it to Zoids. Zoids, if you have anything left to rant on, here's your chance. Do you think Yuya's going to win these last 2 duels? And which one are you more excited to see, Reiji versus Yuya or Jack versus Yuya?
Well, first, you're right to comment me on ranting. That's one thing I do very well. As for is Yuya going to win these duels, I can only answer that with a very strong herder. You don't end a Yu-Gi-Oh series with the protagonist drawing. They're not going to do that. There's four previous seasons, or series, I should say, that all followed the same basic formula in ending the show. And this one isn't exactly doing that. That's where it's kind of like going really weird for me. You had the big final villain battle already. One could say you had multiple final villain battles, but technically it was one duel. Then he goes on to duel others, and again another, and again another, and then Jack's coming in! I mean, can I really complain about Jack? I love Jack. I'm voicing him for Azzy over there. But, yeah, Yuya's gonna win this. The final duel, rushed as is, Yuya's gonna win this. Sure, he might pull another card out of his ass, but we're no strangers to that. And what was the name of the Reiji card?
Supreme Doom King.
Supreme Doom King. Okay, all of the DDD monsters were based off of conquerors, correct? Mm-hmm. This one has to be Donald Trump.
Japan's not going to do that.
Of course I kid, but wouldn't that be hysterical?
Oh god, now we're getting political. We're entering dangerous territories.
That might be something.
It should be Napoleon. Why not Napoleon?
Oh, you know what? That would be a cool... Wait, isn't there already one based off of Napoleon?
Is there? There's Alexander, Temujin, and Caesar?
Yeah.
There is no Napoleon one as far as I mean, I know like that one guy in GX used something based off Napoleon, but you know. They're not strangers to reusing themes.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, who am I more excited for? Not really either one. There are a dozen other characters I would love to see him face over this. Like you could have this whole homage to Yugi versus Zafiro with Yuya versus Yuto. Bring in more Phantom Knight supports while you do that, because the game is begging for Phantom Knight support.
No, Yuya versus the 4U boys. Or Yuya versus Yuzu. That would have been cool.
I think Yuya versus Yuzu happened already.
Yeah, but, like, that didn't count because Yuya only really lost that duel because he didn't remember the Pendulum Summon.
That's true, but then you consider how long Yuzu has been out of the game.
Yeah, that's where it would become a little unrealistic for me.
And what about Ray?
Yuya versus Ray? Then you're just bringing Ray out of nowhere.
It's better than it's better than having her actually do something.
That's true, but you don't end the series on that.
You don't build up a character like that, her not do anything.
It makes sense that they're ending it on Reiji. As much as I don't like it, it makes sense.
I wish Yusho, but that's just me.
I do too wish Yusho.
It'd be entertaining.
But I do also prefer Yuto. Maybe this one wouldn't make any more sense either, but it would make much more sense than Yuya versus Reiji again. Yuya versus Yuri.
I'd be down for a rematch.
Right?
Oh yeah, that would be cool. But that it kind of like ruins the whole point of Yuri's characterization when he lost, because he finally accepts loss. Oh, I'll talk about this later. I just hope his redemption's gonna be off screen, and I know it. And I'm gonna hate it.
If he even gets
that's
redeemed.
kind of picking favorites too, because you're given one U boy, obviously besides you.
No, why not Yugo? He's never doing Yugo. Why not Yugo? I know he's my favorite.
He never dueled Yuto either.
Yeah, I did. An episode, what was it, 35 and 36, part of it, he dueled Yuto for a little bit. They didn't finish, but they dueled partially. It's better than nothing.
Did he? Wait, I don't remember Yuya versus
Yeah,
Yuto
when
at
he
all.
was dueling Sora. Remember, it was right after the Shun and Sora duel. Sora came in and challenged Yuto, then Yuya intruded because I'm not letting you hurt my friend. And then Sora had to depart back to Fusion because he reeled too much, so Yuto and Yuya kept dueling for 2... It's better than nothing, okay?
It doesn't count.
Yugo should have gotten better treatment.
It doesn't count. That doesn't count as a Yuto versus Yuya duel.
It's better than nothing.
I think we got nothing then.
Him and I could argue about this all day.
Probably.
It's a Yugo fangirl versus a Yuto fanboy.
It's
an argument.
I'll end mine by saying I would prefer Yusho.
Yeah,
that's
I would
fair.
Say that too.
I would have liked Yuya versus Yusho not as the ceremonial duel. I would have liked it instead of the Jack duel. I think we can maybe all agree on that.
Yes.
But, it's just, that's one of the duels that I'll look back on the series and say, wow, I'm shocked that duel didn't happen, to be completely honest, because we've never seen father and son, as you said earlier, Zoids, and it would have been cool to see that kind of duel take place. So, a lot of good, again, a lot of good food for thought, as there always is. So hopefully you guys will leave your impressions on that topic down below. Hopefully you've left your first topic impressions as well. But we're going to move on to the third topic, and Rare Ragnarok, I know you're dying to get in on this, so we are going to we are going to start with you. It's a generic question because I've asked this now in the last 3 podcasts. You might have even been one of the people that's answered this on one of the past podcasts, but now that we know the actual summaries for the final episodes, how do you think Arc 5 will end, and maybe how do you want it to end? Do you think it's going to have a dark ending, a happy ending, a cliffhanger ending, maybe a mixture of all the combinations? What are your thoughts on all this, Ragnarok?
So, like Zoid said, every Yu-Gi-Oh has pretty much ended the same in terms of just kind of like the spirit, kind of like the morale of it. So I really think it's gonna give a happy ending. I don't know how they're gonna do that when you're missing some of your favorite characters like the U-Boys and the U-Girls. So I think they're somehow going to boo a happy ending. I can kind of see it being a cliffhanger. For some reason, with a Reggie duel 1 episode, doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. I think something's going to be whack with that. I think it's going to be just something weird's going to go on there, whether he's not going to finish or it's going to be too easy. Or it's just going to, it doesn't make sense to have a Reggie duel, especially since they're really technically supposed to be rivals, and they're really not being rivals. And you're giving them a 1 episode duel, or 1.5, I guess, episode duel, because maybe it's even really is even only 1 episode, because you kind of want to have a 10-minute conclusion at the end of the episode, where hopefully you'll see the U-Girls. But as for the generic question, I think how it will end, it will be, at this point, I think Yuya is going to learn how to use the dragons from Jack, or kind of get that motivation, I guess, to use the dragons, and use the dragons against, or I don't think he's going to do another entertainment duel. Maybe he could very well do the entertainment duel with the dragons, but against Reggie. And then then I think from that, those dragons, somehow the dragons will spawn in the Bracelet Girls. I think those have a connection at this point, because even Leo doesn't even know what's going on. So, and he was the only thing I thought that would give the Bracelet Girls hope, but clearly no one knows where they are. No one knows what's going on. So I think they have some connection with the dragons at this point. But yeah, I'd say happy ending is definitely a good guess.
Yeah, definitely happy ending is always with Yu-Gi-Oh! A good bet. I'm going to give my thoughts real quick, and then we'll go to Zoids. So, a few people, not a lot of people, but a few people have commented on one of my more recent videos where I said, at this point, just end it really dark, and I'll be content with that. And a lot of people said, why are you so obsessed with darkness and dark elements? And that's a hint actually at the top 10 list that'll be out Saturday or tomorrow when you're watching this. So little plug of my own right there. But no, all kidding aside, I think that at this point, it would be cool to end, and I've already mentioned this, so if you've heard me say it, I'm going to sound like a broken record. Have Yuya, because something does seem a little off about the Yuya-Reiji duel, and even a lot of people on Twitter that I follow that are very into the show will say, it just, something has to go weird. Something has to go awry. It just seems like it can't be just straight up Yuya versus Reiji, and then everything's going to magically get solved, because you still have the issue of, Reira not being able to smile, which is at the end of the 147 summary, and maybe the thing inside Reira is causing the girls to be gone. Who really knows? But here's what I think is going to happen. It's going to be resolved with 5 minutes left. Everyone's going to get their own bodies back. We're not going to get anything of Ray and Zark. The 4 U-Boys will have their own bodies. The 4 Bracelet Girls will have their own bodies. They'll all say goodbye to each other or something along those lines. It will end in a very happy way. Here's how I want it to end, and here's how I would prefer it to end. Have it so that Yuya fails to beat Reiji, and maybe Reiji was corrupted by whatever's inside Reira somehow, or maybe it possessed Reiji during the Yuya and Jack duel. Have whatever it was separate the worlds again, have the worlds go into a reset, and no one remembers anything, and have it end on a very ambiguous ending with maybe Reiji saying something along the lines of, oh, not this again, or something like that. And no one else remembers everything. Everyone's revived, everyone's in their own dimension, but no one remembers anything that's taken place. And the whole theme of Arc 5 is that no matter how many times they go through this cycle, they are always stuck in an infinite loop. Now, if you've heard me already talk about that kind of theory on my, I apologize for sounding like a broken record, but I think that would be really cool, because at the same time you have all the characters revived, all the characters are kind of happy. In this case, it's ignorance is bliss, because they don't realize, they're back to the pre-dimensional war characters that we all know and love, that we're all, go happy and go healthy. And you're going to have the same cycle repeat, and you're just left to wonder, will they ever be able to get out of it? I think that would be a really cool way to end the show. I don't think they'll do it. I do think it's going to end very happy. I don't think it's going to end, pitch black dark, where all these characters get killed off in the end, because that would be a little crazy. I wouldn't I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I know a lot of people would be opposed to it. At this point especially, I really wouldn't care if they did that, where if they killed off or maybe Yuya has to sacrifice himself for everyone else to live. I think that would be really...
Yeah,
I think that would be really cool. I don't think a lot of people would maybe enjoy that, but I would love to see something like that happen. So that's my opinion on it. Hopefully you guys will leave your thoughts. Zoids, before we move on, do you have anything you want to add?
Well, clearly the show is going to end with Yuma showing up and taking everybody, bringing them back to life and flying into the sky, including Zark. No. How I would like to see this show end, and this might surprise you, but this is honestly the only way I think the show can really redeem itself and redeem at least a few of these characters. The very last shot of the show should be that picture where Yuya is in torture holding his head with the image of Zark behind him, making it look like all of this was just in Yuya's head.
Oh, so like none of it happened.
Like, it would be a giant cop-out, but at least in terms of the ending here, none of it would have happened, and whatever happened in the Zark duel remains unconcluded.
Honestly, I love that. If they did that, I would be so happy if they did. I know a lot of people would not be happy about it, but I would love it because it would be a cop-out. I would love it. I would love it.
Yeah, I second
it. It would be a giant cop-out.
At this point, though, to this point, I would love for something like that. I would love for it to happen that way.
It just leaves the show too open for I need a solid concluded ending. Like I need to know. I don't want any speculation. I want to know.
I guess the 5D's ending was sort of open-ended, and the GX ending, some of the endings can be open-ended, but they give us enough concrete evidence as to get us a good idea of what's going on. I'm sorry for intruding, but I had to comment. But still, I think that's a little too. It's too much. It would take too much thought to think of that.
Yes.
To be perfectly honest, I'm not saying the writers are stupid. But honestly, they could. What they're gonna do. I'll save it for when we go to the next topic. But it's just gonna be. Look at ending 6. It's all. I don't
think they're gonna do it. But Zoids, I'd be down for it. I'd be down for it.
I doubt they would do it, but it's the only way that to undo all the things. I love the dentist duel, but come on, it's not necessary to ending the show. It's filler.
It was entertaining and restored the smiles of Heartland. We were talking about this the other day.
I love Dennis. You can't say I don't.
I know.
But it's filler. In between
it's not.
No, it's filler in between the big bad battle and the final
It's filler
duel.
with 5 damn episodes left. That should not happen. That should not happen.
I don't say it's
these
filler.
last 8
I say
episodes
it
are all
was
Same for
filler.
Jack Atlas. It's filler.
It's more of plot relevance than the Jack Atlas duel, because the dentist duel brought the smiles and life back to Heartland and resolved the whole issue of the Heartland citizens being feared of dueling, and it resolved that dimension's conflict, and it brought Yuya's his entertainment spirit back, because he wasn't really doing it in the battle royale that shouldn't have been on for 3 episodes. But that's my opinion. But I do get what you guys are saying. I don't feel like these duels, if in Arc 5 these were an episode 130, I feel like, and we just if we just have 140 episodes anyway, and we just went to 130. And we cut on the Synchro arc, we cut out someone the Battle Beast arc, and we just went to Zark quicker. We got more Zark development. It would have been better, but that's just me.
Yeah, BB was a waste of time. Honestly, my honest opinion about this is they're not fully ready for Brains, and they're padding out the rest of Arc 5 until they're ready.
It could.
And now that they're ending the show in 2 episodes.
Yeah, that could honestly be the case. But and just to add, and we're gonna move on, but just to add to what you guys were saying, to kind of support Zoids on this, we could have assumed that the people of Heartland just didn't remember anything, because technically speaking, they shouldn't even have their memories back, because no one in Standard had their memories back in the beginning. So.
Because I think Pendulum is a new dimension, because Standard became Pendulum. It completely rewrit itself. The rest of the dimensions didn't change their summoning method or their origin.
Yeah, but
That's what I think is the reason. Because pendulum, standard is not standard. It's not the same dimension. They're completely different.
Yeah, but if you're going to kickstart one dimension over, why not do it with all of them?
Because they're not changing the origin of the dimension. Standard is not standard now. It is pendulum. It's a completely different thing. They have completely different things. Like, we didn't see Gongenzika Synchro summon, now did we? No, he used the tribute monster. No one used extra deck stuff. Because that's the way the dimension, they have to rewrite it in order to make it pendulum. They did not have to do that for the other three.
But we could have easily just assumed if they didn't show us Heartland that everyone got their memories wiped.
Something just occurred
yes, you
to
could
me.
have. That is a good argument, but honestly, that is probably the reason only Standard got changed. We still don't know why Reiji and Himika seem to remember everything, but then again, that's Reiji, who's just plot armor, but you know, Akaba Reiji, I know, like, with Love Reiji is just smartness and everything, but it's just not explained. Well, there's so many things I just can't explain the show,
Something
but
just occurred to me.
Yeah.
Because the dimension was rewritten to be the pendulum dimension, wouldn't that mean that Yusho now has pendulums?
We will
they
never
all
know.
do. Yes, he should have. We saw him
We'll
use
never
pendulum
know.
birds the first time he showed up in the fusion dimension. He summoned those 3 pendulum birds between the starter deck, and they were pendulums. But he never used them against Yuri because why?
Also, never.
In the manga. Remember, Dylan? Him and Yusho created
Right,
pendulum.
well, it was also
summoning,
never
but now we
explained
know
how Leo
kind of Zark
Akaba
made
got
it, I
pendulum
guess.
summoning.
Yeah.
You could spend
Whatever.
honestly
Also true.
about 10 hours looking at Arc 5 plot holes. But then again, you could spend 10 hours looking at every show's plot hole. Every show that this long is always going to have some plot holes. So we're nitpicking at this point, guys. But we are going to move on to the final topic. Rarity, I'm going to start with you. The final topic is, what do you need to see from these last 3 episodes that will make you satisfied with Arc 5 as a whole? Are you already satisfied? Is there nothing you need to see from these last episodes? Or is there nothing they can do at this point? And has the show already been a bit of a letdown in your eyes in terms of the finale?
Well, as the optimistic, I love all the Yu-Gi-Ohs and I adore Arc 5 and it'll always have a special place in my heart because it's the show that got me into really being more active with the Yu-Gi-Oh community. I got to meet you, Ragnarok, Zoids, everyone being part of Arc 5 Abridged, dubbing the manga, being on the manga reviews. I have a special connection to these characters, and I've literally been obsessed with them ever since, for a whole year pretty much, because I got into Arc 5 kind of late, but honestly, I'm a fangirl. I'm pretty sure everyone who knows me knows what I'm going to ask for. I'm going to ask for 4 simple things. Those are the 4 things I need to make this show okay as a finale. Would I want it to be rewritten differently? Of course. But I can't change what they're going to do, like, in terms of, like, the plot they're going. I just need to see 4 things simply that I want. Number 1 is I want Yuri to be redeemed, and I don't want it to be off-screen, which I feel like that's not going to happen. Even if it's just a little bit of him admitting that he was wrong, because we're going to hear the U-Boys in 147, 146, they're going to be talking to Yuya, and maybe Yuri's, like, in the corner. Maybe Yugo's like, well, I don't know much about this smile thing, but you know what, this sounds pretty good. I'm pretty sure Rin would have been happy or something like that. And then Yuri's just, like, maybe all upset because he doesn't think he can make people smile, doesn't think that Star Venom can make people smile. It's a little moment between Yuya and Yuri would be nice, because if you remember, Yuya and Yuri had very similar childhoods. They were kind of loners at some point, because Yuya got mocked for his father, and Yuri never had friends, which we all know he wanted friends, but then he just got manipulated by Akabaleo into a pawn. So honestly, I would like to see Yuri, plus maybe that'll turn him into his manga personality, because I love manga Yuri so much. I love his personality so much more. Can we just get manga Yuri, please? That's not gonna happen, but, that's why the manga, we have at least 3 more years of the manga, Dylan, so it's not going anywhere time soon. I don't have to say about it, my U-Boys yet. Number 2, I want to see Zark again. I don't care if it's no speaking. I want to see Zark. I want to see his face more than once. Maybe Zark, when he comes out of Rayra, because Rayra's gonna smile, duh. Maybe he comes out and tries to attack him. Maybe Ray's spirit shows up and she, takes him, or just a nice little moment with Zark and Ray. Even if it doesn't have dialogue in it, I just want to see Zark's real form at least once. Even if it's a demon Zark form, I just want to see him one more time. The third thing is I want the U-Boy interaction to be very, I want them to interact, kind of speak to each other about things, not just them be like, go Yuya, use my card, blah, blah, blah. I want meaningful interaction. I mean, I have the manga for that, but honestly, the anime's been needing it so much, I think that just kind of need it. And then the last thing, which, if you're me, this is the big thing I've been wanting. I want a damn good reunion scene with tears. I want Yugo and Rin to be happy. I don't care if they don't get together at the end. I just want a hug with tears, man. Yugo deserves to see Rin again, and Yuto deserves to see Ruri again, and so does Shun. I just want them to have a happy reunion. I don't care if it's like in the last 2 minutes of the show, I don't care. I just want to see it. I want to see hugs and I want to see tears. It's going to be beautifully animated because he animated at 144 and that was beautiful. I know I'm a fangirl and I know I'm biased, so I just want to see some happiness, man. I don't want a dark ending. We're not going to get a dark ending. And if the last frame of the show is like the last frame of the 6th ending, I will be satisfied. I mean, with the show, the thing about me is, like, if a show has flaws, I still love it. Arc 5 is still probably going to be my second favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's not going to change it because of personal reasons. And I still have the manga, so honestly, I'm perfectly fine. Would I have liked them to do things differently? Of course. I think everyone would want to rewrite the show the way they would. I would want a Ray duel, a Yusho duel. You know what I'm saying. I would want the Bracelet Girls, especially Rin, to get more development. But still, that is just my opinion. And I just hope it's going to be good, and that's all I'm going to hope for. I hope it's going to be really, really good, and I just hope there's going to be a lot of tears, because probably I'm going to cry no matter what, because I don't want to say bye to the Bracelet Girls yet. I don't want to say bye to my Apple shipping and my Fallen Angel shipping. Sorry I'm getting sappy, but it's Rarity. I'm a fangirl. What do you expect?
Well said. Well said. Okay, so well said, Rarity. Rare Ragnarok, we are going to go to you, and then we are going to wrap things up.
All right, so, I know I've said this before on the podcast, but for me to really be satisfied, you're going to have to go a year in the past and kind of rewrite the whole show. I think what I'd be most happy with is if, at the time, I really liked the Synchro arc just because I like the length, I like the exploration of the dimension. If we had that for Xyz and Fusion, I'd like that even more, and then even have 20 episodes after the Zark duel to really kind of explore the characters more. And now I don't know if I want as many tears as Rarity does, but I do definitely want to see U-Boy interaction. Because in the 146 summary, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, it just mentions that Yuya hears the U-Boys within him, but it never says anything about the U-Boys interacting with each other in Yuya. Mm-hmm. So we don't know if they're even going to say anything to each other. We know they're going to be talking to Yuya, but we don't know if Yuri and Yugo are ever going to speak to each other again. So I want to see U-Boy interaction in person between all of them. Mm-hmm. If I want to be really picky, I'd like to see a new like a hero, kind of like as Dylan said, a hero version of Zark, like a hero version of the dragon.
Supreme Dragon King Smile Zark.
Yeah, something ridiculous like that.
Another integration summon.
Yeah, no, I actually love that. I like to see
and then Happy Zark just pops up and rides on top of it. Just says a gal, everyone.
I honestly,
corny,
I'd be down for it just because I want to see a new powerful monster, but that's shared between the U-Boys. Mm-hmm. Like I said, if I really want to see Ray Duel, but just like pretty much, I can't imagine someone who wanted to say I don't want to see Ray Duel in this series, but I think everyone wanted to see Ray Duel. I'm pretty bummed about that because she seemed like a pretty good duelist. I got that vibe from those flashbacks, but yeah, like I'm as satisfied as it can be. Like I said, I like Jack Atlas. I like what he's doing. I don't like that we're doing it so late, or if that in the 148 cap limit of the episode. So, I'm as satisfied as I can be. Like, if I really want to be satisfied, I really want to see U-Boy interaction. I want to see the Bracelet Girls, and I definitely want to see Yuri and Serena interaction, because I don't know, like when I saw the ending for the first time, I was like, they clearly know each other, like, but we don't. I don't know. It's just that whole weird thing to me. I really want to see what they think of each other, because they kind of like they kind of have the same personality, in my opinion. Like, they're both very cocky, they're very outgoing, but I just want to see how they interact with each other.
Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty sure all the Predator shippers, all the shippers would love that too.
Yeah, honestly, we got a lot of Predator fan support.
It's just weird with Zark and Ray. Like, Arc 5, I feel like you can argue Arc 5 has the most female characters, and like we have like 4 like sets of characters that technically have ships. I mean, I'm not much of a shipper, but I like Yuto and Ruri, and I like Yugo and Rin, and I kind of like Zark and Ray, at least for the way it's affected in the fandom. But like, they didn't do anything with Zark and Ray. You could have made this like such a tragic Shakespearean story. You legit could have shipping, gets people to drop more fan art, gets people invested in the show. We've seen this in Japan many times. It's just wasted opportunity after wasted opportunity with this show. But I still love it, But we just gotta enjoy what we have and to stop dwelling on what we don't have. And then we can go to the manga and just love the manga, right? We all go to the manga after this, right? Everyone loving the manga, Dylan. We're gonna get everyone to the manga now. Yeah.
All right. Well said, everyone. Well said. Very, very fun podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed our final Arc 5 podcast. It really is amazing. I did the first one. It was just me and Legendary Duels. We were just like, yeah, let's do like elongated discussion. And then I said, what if I kind of ran a segment on my channel where every month I had people on, 2 or 3 people, to talk about the summaries, because they come out every month, and just give our, elongated thoughts on that. And, 8 months later, it's become really, I think, a staple of my channel, and it really is amazing. And we're just 4 people in the community. Everyone watching at home right now, whether you're on your phone, a tablet, your TV, your computer, you guys are the reason that this is able to happen, that we're able to take, an hour out of our day, and for me, like 4 extra hours out to edit and get these videos out, and get these podcasts out, because it really is amazing, and I cannot thank you enough. So, Arc 5, it's been a great ride. I mean, in 2 days, I'll be doing my second to last cast list analysis. It really is coming to an end, and even though I'm sure, there was a lot of ranting, as I think there deserves to be on this podcast, we're all going to miss the show. We're definitely all going to miss the show, and there's even people who have commented a lot of negative things about the show that say, even though I've had a lot of fun ripping on it, I'm definitely going to miss it. And you watch a show for 3 years, and eventually, it becomes a part of your life. It really does. So it will be sad to see Arc 5 go, but I hope you really enjoyed our final thoughts on Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. I'm going to let Rarity, Ragnarok, and Zoids all talk about their channels and the things they do for the community. Please check all 3 of them out. They will all be linked down below. I cannot thank these 3 enough for coming on. I cannot thank you enough for watching at home. So if you 3 want to give your plugs, and then we can officially wrap up the final Arc 5 podcast.
I'm going to go first because I'm pretty sure everyone knows me. Hi, I'm Rarity. If you haven't known me, then where have you been on Dylan's channel? I've been on here probably more than anyone else. I win, right, Dylan? I totally win, right? But I am Rarity. I do a lot of stuff in the community. I am a voice actor. I dub the Arc 5 manga. I review the manga with Dylan every month. I'm a voice actor for Arc 5 Abridged. I'm on one of the admins of the Discord server, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything Discord server, which if you have not joined, totally go do it. You can see Dylan, me, and Zoids, a lot of other cool people in the community just talking about Yu-Gi-Oh!, talking about other fun things. It's a really, really nice environment. You can discuss things, get all your spoilers right there when they drop. It's just a wonderful thing we've created. I'm very happy that it was Zoid's idea that he decided to create the server. It was just a wonderful idea. I also have a Twitter and a Tumblr. I do a lot of fun stuff, and I'm really excited for the upcoming Scale 19 manga drama, which is the newest chapter of the Arc 5 manga. I really can't wait to dub that. That's hopefully going to be out in April, as well as probably something else in April. It just happens. But yeah, I'm excited to be on here, and you'll see me in 2 weeks for the Scale 20 review. Woo!
All right, guys. So thank you, Rarity, for that. But I of course Ragnarok. I've been on here. This is my 4th time being on here. If you know the podcast, then you should know me. I just hit 1,600 subs, so thank you all for that, because I know a good amount of Dylan's subs are also my subs. I know I do Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profiles. I do some competitive Pokemon. I'm currently if I can figure out the recording that I've been having issues with, I am doing Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I am also going to be starting a Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist playthrough once I get all my recording stuff set up. And I've been pretty lazy about uploading, just because now I'm not sponsored, but the Nintendo Switch is the best thing you can pick up in 2017. So I recommend all of you picking up the Nintendo Switch with Zelda, because I have been so entertained, so busy with that I've been pretty lazy about recording. But I obviously have the time to record this podcast with some awesome people in the community. And like Rarity said, make sure you join that Discord server. I'm not as active as I should be, but I do go on it quite a bit every now and then. But yeah, if you like anything Yu-Gi-Oh!, you're gonna want to be a part of that Discord server.
Alright. So, I am Zoids BN. No need to go subscribe to my channel. I post crap there. I sound like I'm joking. I'm not. I post crap there. If you want to subscribe, sure, go ahead. I am more than welcoming you guys. But if you really want to follow me, I'm more active in the Abridged series that I'm a part of. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. This one hasn't been updated in a while, but Sands of Destruction Abridged by World Parody Committee. Well, a lot of the other ones died really fast, didn't they? Getsuga Abridged, I'm a part of that. But yeah, the Discord server is the best place to find me. You can actually talk with me one-on-one there. As Rarity said, I don't mean to brag, it was my idea. Dylan initiated it. I'm the one that thought of the idea. It's the three of us. It's all three of us.
It's the
three of us
Great
came
Diamond
together to
Authorities.
make that work. The
is.
Great Diamond Authority. Anything you'd want to find me in, link will be in the crotch bar down below. Does anyone even say crotch bar
I'm going to start
anymore?
saying it. I like that.
No! Say the description.
Yeah,
no!
honestly, it's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
No, don't do it, boys. No. No.
Alright, link in the crotch bar down below. Love you guys. I'll see you there.
Check all these three out. They are great people, and you guys at home, you guys are great people as well. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for making these Arc 5 podcasts possible. I will talk to you in the comments below. You might see these three pop up down there as well. So leave all your thoughts in the comments below. As always, guys, just cannot thank you enough. I hope you have a wonderful Friday, and I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I hope these last few Arc 5 episodes are everything you want. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you for watching.